This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the lumberyard, watching the grunion crawl magi. Little kids got naked and had lots of sex. Don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 46. My name is Adam. Today I'm joined by Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing alright.
And we're also joined by Ryan. How are you?
Yeah.
So-so? What movie do we have you watch this week?
Django.
Django. This is in honor of Django Unchained. This is the original 1966 version. It's written and directed by Sergio Corbucci. The IMDb synopsis states, a coffin-dragging gunslinger enters a town caught between two feuding factions, the KKK and a gang of Mexican bandits. That man is Django, and he is caught up in a struggle against both parties. It stars Franco Nero as Django, Jose Badallo, and Loredana Nuskiak. Oh, man.
Yes.
I apologize for butchering those names. We have a trailer here. Let's give this a listen. This is Django.
A century ago, on the low hills along the border between the southern states and turbulent Mexico, a mystery man appeared. A man with a sad, impenetrable face.
Django, have you never loved again? Love will live on, life must go on, for you cannot spend your life regretting. Django,
Who was that man? What was his secret?
It's not important.
Django,
And if I bothered you, will you accept my apology?
He was pitiless in revenge, quick to decide and a master of every weapon. A man everybody would like to have seen dead.
forever Django.
Yeah, his name is Django.
When there are clouds in the sky.
Django, the title of a film you'll never forget.
Okay. Ryan, why don't you tell...
Well, that was more English than I heard, though, man.
Yes, now, Ryan, you watched the subtitled version in Italian. What did you... Why don't you tell us about Django?
The story is really, really badass, and the actual cinematography and movie aspect were terrible. I want to know, is this the same like character the Quentin Tarantino movie is based on?
No. Well, I don't believe so. I think that after this movie came out, see, this was a really, really influential movie when it came out, and there were tons and tons of ripoffs that had the character of Django, but it really wasn't the same person. There was one.
No, but it influenced so many spaghetti westerns.
This was like,
I think it says there's like 100 unofficial sequels.
yeah, this movie was huge, and there was only one official sequel that had the same actor playing Django and was written and directed by the same Sergio Corbucci. Although Franco Nero, who plays Django, is in Django Unchained.
Yes. I mean, hell, you could tell by that trailer that it sounded like a Tarantino movie.
Oh, yeah. And I believe that they use, in Django Unchained, I believe that they do use the Django theme song as well.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Certainly not a RZA-inspired theme song.
No. But I do...
No.
I just love the premise of this movie. A coffin...
I have to say that I was reading this because I was like, this movie sounds pretty interesting. I might check this out. And then I read, where is it? Is a drifter who drags around a coffin that conceals a machine gun. And I was like, sold.
Yeah, exactly.
Sold. I am in it.
That makes this movie. The characters in this are really, really awesome.
Yeah, I have to say, if you read that sentence and you don't want to see this movie, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay?
I am also going to throw my fuck you in there, too.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that if this doesn't sound like an awesome premise for a movie, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. That's what you learn.
So now you were saying that, were you saying the camera work was not good in this?
Just not the actual camera, just the fact that it was an older movie, and I'm just saying it now. They didn't make it match up too well.
So it looked dated. It looked like it was made in '66.
Yeah.
Well, I think
It kind of reminded me of Clint Eastwood movie. Sort of.
just you mean like
an older Clint Eastwood.
So it just reminded you of
I
any
was gonna say
Western
like
ever.
anything, any Western.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's not actually, you're not really talking about the cinematography being bad. It it didn't age well.
Correct.
Okay.
And it was also probably partially due to the fact that I watched the Italian one. Which is,
I was gonna say, how do you even notice it if you're reading subtitles the whole time?
well, I noticed a lot of very odd things, and I noticed that their mouths never match what they're saying, ever. So,
Maybe it was like dubbed or something. I don't know.
It could be.
Although you did,
I'm sure.
I did tell you after the fact that there is an English audio track on the DVD, which you.
but it just kind of added to I guess I'll call it the uniqueness of this movie.
Now see,
You know what I mean? Like, I had to more actively pay attention to what was happening.
now as far as the plot, was it pretty understandable for you? Because I know you have issues with plot.
As far as yes, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I basically figured out what was going on. At some points, I didn't understand the complete dialogue between people, but overall, I understood what was happening.
Okay. Now this was for the time. This was an extremely violent film. What, like, for today's standards, I take it that it wouldn't be considered very violent.
I mean, they show killing every now and then, like actual people being shot and blood and whatnot, but it's not graphic. They don't swear at all in this movie, I don't think. And, yeah. It's not like grossly graphic.
Now,
But
one of my
it's-
favorite things, and did this happen in the movie? Because one of my favorite things from Westerns is the way people die in Westerns. Because it's so ridiculous.
They're way over exaggerated. A lot
Yes.
of people.
Where they're always like, oh, and they're like, clutch.
They
clutch
die, then they make the noise, and then they die some more.
Yeah, very dramatic deaths back then.
It always reminds me of when like you're a little kid and how you would act like you would die, where you would stumble around for a while,
Clutch your chest,
and then fall to the ground, and then kick your legs up in the air.
So
Now this was banned for a while.
yeah,
Because of that. Until 93.
Because what shitty act? It was banned for people dying like assholes.
I wish movies would get banned for that. This movie has been banned for shitty acting.
For people being assholes.
If that happened, I would not have a segment on this. Oh, this
That's
shit.
true. That's true.
Now,
I do read here that Corbucci actually forgot to cut out a scene that he was told to remove from the censors, and it was banned outright in Sweden because of it.
nice.
He forgot to cut out a ear severing scene. Did you get to see the ear severing scene?
Oh yeah, it was. I guess I'll call it graphic. It reminded me a lot of something Quentin Tarantino what it is.
I mean, that.
I was gonna say that's got to be like a direct influence on.
Yeah, I think that probably is a direct influence on Reservoir Dogs. I think it's interesting. I really like going back and watching these types of films that influenced directors, especially with Tarantino, because with Tarantino, it's all right there. Like, you can see. It's so clear. It's like, I guess, more recently I would compare it to, like, Holy Motors, where it's like, oh, well, that's, like, pretty much the exact scene lifted from that other movie.
Yeah.
And I really like seeing that. So I'm very excited to see this movie. Now, I don't want you to give anything away as far as, like, the end, but how badass is this machine gun?
It's fucking awesome. In fact, if I was able to carry out the Dolphin, I'd do that too.
Now, I wonder...
So if you could carry a coffin, it would have a machine gun in it. So you would actually walk around with a coffin with a machine gun in it.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm wondering, because there's, I don't know if either of you are aware, but there's a very popular anime series that
I was going to say that was the first thing it reminded me of.
That came out called Trigun, and there's a character in that carries a coffin that is loaded with guns. And I find it hard to believe that would be a coincidence, because Trigun, the way that series is framed, it's very much like a futuristic Western. And I bet that's where it came from.
There was another one too, besides Trigun.
Well, there was
I can't remember. Oh, what's it called?
Well, I know I don't know if it would be related, but in
Gungrave. You remember that game?
Yeah.
He dragged around a coffin in that too.
Yep. So I think that it would be interesting, and I bet there's like papers or something online that have all the influences with this movie, because it seems like this is a very far-reaching movie.
Here's my question. What if that coffin actually contained a dead body? And you just walk around with a coffin and a dead body and just went everywhere. That would make you laugh.
I think it would freak people out.
Oh my goodness. I think it would be a completely different movie then.
No, I take it.
I wouldn't want to fuck him with a dead body with them. If I was one of these Western people, I would just give up and cry and go home. Be like, nope, not today.
So I take it he kills a lot of KKK people, huh?
He kills a lot of everybody.
I was gonna watch this last night, but my girlfriend like freaked out. She's like, no, I don't want to see anything before Django Unchained. And I tried telling her that it has nothing. It really doesn't. The plot has nothing to do with Django Unchained, and it's really just the name. But she didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they go for some of the same attitude and.
Whether or not it's tied to that movie, it may be way more excited for them.
Yeah, see, that's why I want to watch it first. I want to watch this original one first, so then when I see Django Unchained, I can pick up on some of the more specific influences. Because I'm not...
Yeah.
Like, I like Westerns, but I'm not really well-versed in the classic Westerns. Like, like this and Sergio Leone films. I don't really like the spaghetti westerns. I'm not really familiar with a lot of those.
There's a name Sergio again.
Yeah.
Funny, my new name is Sergio.
Now, speaking of Sergio, this guy directed a ton of films. Most of them are Italian, and I don't really know if any of them were met with the same success as Django. In fact, I'm really not familiar with anything else he did.
The only other thing that I've heard of is The Great Silence, because it has Klaus Kinski and Jean-Louis, who was in most recently the Amour movie. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to check that one out as well. A mute gunslinger faces off against a gang of bounty hunters in the Great Blizzard of 1899. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it looks like epic. Looks like he did do a lot of westerns, so I might be checking into some more of his stuff.
Yeah, Jean-Louis plays Silence, mute since his throat was cut as a child. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, kind of into that. I'm
totally into that. I have a feeling I'm going to be watching a lot of spaghetti westerns for a while.
Now, Ryan, do you have an interest in seeing the sequel, Django Strikes Again?
No, really, no.
Okay. But
not really. No. I thought it was badass.
If it continues this story, then maybe. But I'm not too into all-time western.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, you did say that this has you more excited for Django Unchained, or as you like to call it, Django Unlimited.
Oh God!
Now,
I made sure I didn't do that today. I almost did.
Now, so you were pretty excited about it before, but now you're even more so.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
Early predictions? Do we think that this is going to be Tarantino's best?
I think it's going to be one of. I have a feeling I'm going to love the shit out of this.
Well,
movie.
it did get.
I'm gonna say low hopes. Simply because low hope.
Low hope?
Because I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
Because I thought Man with Iron Fist was going to be really awesome, and apparently no one else thought that.
It was...
Well, it doesn't matter what other people think, Ryan.
It was okay.
You don't watch movies for other people. You watch movies for yourself.
What? First of all, Kevin, my name is Sergio.
I'm sorry, Sergio.
I'm Ryan. Second of all, I'm watching movies to report to these people so they can hear me talk about the Django.
Django. Or as my dad calls it, Django. He was looking at movie stuff, and he's like, "What's this movie, Django Unchained?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?" The D really threw him off because he knew the movie. He knew Tarantino. I mean, my dad keeps up with movies. He's just Django Unchained.
Django.
Yep.
Just the story of what I've seen so far looks incredible.
Well, it is to note that that Django Unchained was nominated for Best Picture at this year's Golden Globes. So that's pretty big.
It's exciting.
Oh.
So I'm very excited to see it. So, all right, any final thoughts before we give you your drum roll?
My name is Sergio.
Ryan's new name is Sergio.
Sergio.
Now, would you recommend this to people? Would you say go out and see this before Django Unchained?
I'd say yeah. I mean, like I said before, I'm not really into westerns, like older westerns, but like when I first started the movie, I gotta say, I was like, oh Jesus, what is this? What am I watching? but after like 5 minutes, it was okay.
I watched the first 5 minutes before I was made to turn it off, and I gotta say, I loved the opening. It's got the theme song, but it's got that classic film opening, where they have the title just splashes across the screen, and it's got the copyright, underneath and all that stuff, like the old style. I was loving that, and it kills like 10 dudes in the first scene.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and give your drum roll. What do you give Django?
5.
That's a 5 out of 10 for Django. Not too bad.
I thought it was going to be higher.
Actually, I did too.
I was thinking like a 7.
I was thinking it was going to be higher too, but I guess the old Italian aspects of it.
Is it because you had to read subtitles? So, I mean, God damn it, Ryan. God damn it, Sergio. This movie involves a coffin with a machine gun in it.
Yes, that is pretty awesome.
Now, like, have you seen? Where does this stack up against other westerns you've seen?
Name one, I'll tell you if I've seen
I take it that you've only seen more modern westerns, right? Like Tombstone. Have you seen Tombstone?
I've seen more modern ones.
Like
yes.
Unforgiven, Tombstone.
Yeah. I like them. I mean, there's some of them are slow burning, but I like them. They're overall, just because I like how badass everyone is in this.
Now, where does this stack up against Young Guns 2?
Martin Sheen has done this movie. Wait.
I don't think Martin Sheen was in Young Guns 2.
No,
I think Emilio Estevez was in it.
Yeah. That just, I don't even know.
Did you see 310 to Yuma?
No, I don't.
Okay.
That was great. Did you see True Grit?
No, I don't.
Oh, God. Well, you should definitely see those. You'll like those. They're good.
There'd be many movies that I haven't seen that I should see.
Well, I know for a fact that you saw Project X because I watched it with you.
Yeah.
So we got that one out of the way.
How did this movie stack up against Project X?
All I gotta say is thank you, Cinemax.
It was funny because this is completely unrelated, but we were just flipping through the channels. I was over at Ryan's when I was up there, and Project X was on. I put it on, and it was like probably the last 20, 25 minutes. And once the credits started rolling, I was like, there you go. You didn't miss anything. You saw the whole movie.
Oh,
terrible.
My.
All right, well, I think that wraps it up. That's a 5 out of 10 for Django. Highly recommend going to see Django Unchained when it comes out in theaters Christmas Day, the 25th.
I'll be there. If you're in New York, Pennsylvania, give me a call. Give Sergio a call.
Are you planning on seeing it on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Very excited. All right. For all the latest film news and reviews, visit us at filmpulse.net. We want to hear your feedback. Send us an email, feedback@filmpulse.net, or call our voicemail line 850-391-6071. Also, please take a minute to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that very much. For filmpulse.net, my name is Adam.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Ryan. I'm Sergio.
And we will see you on Monday.
See you later.
They get so much better.
Django, you must face another day. Django, now your love has gone away. Lost you longer.
The world's not gonna end, Kevin.
I know, but one of the best parts is I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and I was like, well, I might as well smoke a cigarette while I'm out here. So I smoke a cigarette, come back in, and the doors are shut, which means that like the president of the company and shit are giving their speeches. So I have to walk in and walk past all my bosses while everyone's sitting, and like the president of the company is giving his like big time speech, and I'm just like walking through like, excuse me, sorry. And of course I was sitting the whole way across the room.
Yes.
The table right in front of where he's speaking.
Yes.
That's what comes with being grown up, yeah, man.